truth, the lies, and politics. Informative, educative, and analytical. Getting to the real issues that affect an ordinary individual in areas of leadership, governance, social, and economy. The truth, the lies, and politics.
Ladies and gentlemen, I do welcome you to The Truth, Lies, and Politics. And I'm your show host, Paul Ekurot Eke, and this is a dynamic space where ideas collide, opinions ignite, and perspectives are challenged across the table. So I'd like you to prepare for an engaging journey as we dive deep into pressing issues that affect you and I, and we amplify diverse voices across the table. Well, you can connect with us on our socials. That is at PTVT that is on X, formerly Twitter. You have on Facebook and on YouTube. You can feel free to, leave a comment there as you part of the conversation. Also, a little later on, we should be able to open up our phone lines for you to be able to call in into our conversation. And together, we can empower, we can inform, and bridge the gaps in our society. So, I do welcome you to the place where the show where the conversation begins. And in a short while, I will be introducing the guests that we have in studio. But just before we dive into that, there's a message for you. Uganda is now just 3 months away from the general election. 8 presidential candidates have already launched their manifestos, setting the stage for a heated race. But one manifesto stands taller in scrutiny: the NRM's. For some, the promises in the NRM Manifesto speak directly to continuity, stability, and completed projects. For others, it's the gaps, unfulfilled pledges, and familiar promises that spark the debate. The big question remains: what in the NRM's manifesto speaks to you and what does not? As campaigns heat up, the conversation is no longer about what's on paper, but who can deliver. Stay tuned to The Truth, Lies, and Politics as we dive deep into the manifestos, the promises, and the politics behind them. Stay informed, stay engaged. All right, and we do welcome you onto the show. This is The Truth, Lies, and Politics here on Spirit TV with Eki as the show host. And just before I dive into our conversation this evening, that is around the NRM Manifesto. Is it a continuation of progress or a repeat of unmet expectations or promises? And just in hindsight, this week has been a busy one. Since even last week, it's been busy. But some of the top stories, one of those being the court ruling, on the UPC party leadership and forwarding candidates. We'll hear a little from that, from our candidate from UPC. But one that has taken also people's attention, or that is getting people talking, is on the candidates that NOP chose to unveil to run for the different ministerial posts in the country. Flag bearers. Yes, the flag bearers, yes, to run for those posts. Quite an interesting list, and we'll be discussing that another time. But for today, I would like to introduce our guest in studio. I will start with my immediate left. That is Council Ronald Tugume Apuli, and we are glad to have him on the show. Good evening, sir, and welcome.
Thank you so much. Viewers, we welcome you to today's program. We hope you had a good day, and I wish you good viewing. I also want to thank the management staff and Eki here for giving me an opportunity to come into the studio, and we split the issues.
Yes.
Within the corridors of this nation.
Yes.
And also want to thank my brother Romushana. It is a pleasure to always interact with him and be on the same station and discuss
platform
of national importance. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. As Councillor Tugume has mentioned, we have Mr. Charles Romushana, who is a political analyst, but also a former spy. And so we are glad to have him on the show. Good evening, sir, and welcome to the show.
The Almighty God of all creation is great and exceedingly merciful. The message I have for you is extremely very brief. Jesus asked, the young man asked Jesus what he could do to inherit the kingdom of God.
Yes.
And Jesus referred him to the law. And the young man knew the law, the commandments. And assured Jesus that he obeyed, lived by those commandments. And Jesus said, no, that's good. Say, now you go and say all you have, you give it to the poor, and you follow me. And the young man told Jesus, can't come home. he did not come back. He failed. He failed because he could not sell all his belongings and share them with the poor.
Yes.
So that's why he knew the law. He was knowledgeable, but did not carry his cross, could not afford to carry the cross to follow Jesus. Then I was told today, which I know, which I've already observed, but I hadn't taken note. In the church, in the Holy Catholic Church, call it the Universal Church, the Church of Christ. It's not the leaders who pray for us. It's not the priests, the bishops, the cardinals, the popes who pray for us. No, it is us who pray for them. Yes.
Pray for the leaders, yes.
No, not pray for the leaders per se,
Within the
but the leadership of the Church of Christ. It is us who pray for the church because they are very vulnerable and they concede. They are weak, they can easily fall. You know how many times Peter fell? The challenges Peter went through. So the leadership of the church that knows their vulnerability, that they are as vulnerable as the other rich young man who knew what was required of him, who obeyed the law, but found it extremely very difficult to share what he had with the poor.
Wow.
So the church knows, the leadership of the church knows that they are as weak as the other one.
Yes.
And that's why they require us, or they ask us to pray for them.
Wow. Thank you very much. And indeed, are you praying for your leaders within your religious circles? That's a big question, and a big thank you to Charles for the reminder.
You don't need to call a pastor to pray for you.
No.
You should be praying for the pastor. If he's an authentic pastor.
Well said and well put. All right. Quite interesting. Now, just to...
and we don't pray for judges.
We don't pray for judges,
Have
but
you ever
we
heard
pray
the church say, let's pray for judges?
For the
they
judges,
may pray
no.
for a president.
but not a
They
judge.
may pray for it, but they don't pray for judges because of what Pilato did.
That is chaos.
But the same Bible says that the elders and the deacons and the leaders shall lay hands
On the people.
on the
To
people
brace.
On any...
and pray for them and heal the sick.
the sick.
So we pray for each other.
Yes.
The leaders pray for the congregation
Praise
prays
for the
them.
leader.
Yes.
Thank you very much. But so, gentlemen, tonight we put the spotlight on the NRM Manifesto. We have 8 nominated candidates who are who started their journey in canvassing for votes. And different candidates have been at different places. You have been seeing what is happening on the screens, and also the crowds that are following them. But the big question is simple, all right? Is this a continuation of progress or just another repeat of the unmet promises? That is, we're talking about the NRM Manifesto. Now, for over 3 decades, you know, the ruling party has told Ugandans about roads, about dams, about jobs, about security and stability. And yes, some of these things have been visible, but at the same time, many promises have been carried forward in election after elections, like unfinished homework. You know, we do ask the question, yeah, as the 8 candidates battle it out with the manifestos, does the NRM's manifesto, or what we ask, does the NRM manifesto offer for 2026 inspiration or fresh confidence, or are Ugandans being served the same promises on a different plate? You know, and you have had our guests. We have one more guest who will be joining us in a short while, and so I will start with Council Craig here. And I know, yes, you ran for MP, that is Machindia East, Machindia West. Yes, under the NRM party flag. Yes. I just would like to ask, this is a new manifesto, I'm calling it new in quotes, but what are the things that stand out for people who have not read it? What are some of the things that stand out for you in this manifesto?
Nothing new. Nothing new.
This is a shocker, yes.
No, there's nothing new. That's the truth of the matter. I'm not belittling the manifesto or trying to. There's nothing new. It's just a continuation. You can hear from the theme, protecting the gains. So if somebody wants to protect gains, that means they're not planning to give you more. They just want to
maintain,
to fortify. So, but also, let's look at what we call manifestos in Uganda. Actually, we are still very far away in terms of our democracy. In terms of our democracy, the last time I was here, there was a colleague who had started a party, and I said some words, and they didn't please Mr. Gomusha, and neither did they please him. But I meant them. That Ugandans, Turinga, we are like people. We're just copycats. We have a form, but the substance
is lacking.
It's not there. Lacking is a bit of you understating it. The word is there is no substance. You have to start from before we discuss manifestos. We have 8 candidates. Is it for 4 independents and then 4 party cards? And then you have to ask yourself, these parties, what are their core value system positions? Like you hear in other democracies, these are right, this is far right, this is centralist, this is leftist.
This is democratic.
And these left-right things, they are attached to how far you are from a certain norm. Because there is a norm.
Yes.
Then they are saying, are you right of it or left of it? Now here in Uganda, what is our norm?
It's a big question.
And these different parties, you see, the politics in our country here is about all the opposition parties. They have nothing to offer except one thing: we are fighting a dictator.
Yes.
Tujako na chemarida. We want Museveni has ruled for a long time. This is all they tell people. And I can give you 5 examples of countries which pursued that agenda and they are in trouble today.
Please do. I'd like 1 or 2.
They are in trouble today. Hey, look at your brother up there in what you call the Sudan. Look at Libya.
They also just said we are removing a dictator.
Look at Iraq. Look at Libya. Look at Afghanistan. Look at Somalia.
Is Syria part of that?
No, Syria is, the world has not talked about it, but same thing.
But same thing, yeah.
Once countries are, or political parties are in place because of removing a leader,
that's a common goal.
It is rubbish. That is the form without substance. Because after removing the leader, then you people have removed him. What were your ideas, first of all, that were contrary to his? You tell me, have you ever hosted a person here who sits down and analyzes a sector based on a certain value with a goal in mind? Mind you, a goal in mind.
So all these manifestos you see, including the one of my party, which I love, NRM, they are just populist. They are not for posterity. And that is why you see here in Uganda, nobody, you listen carefully, put your ear on the ground, nobody is going to ask a question saying that, but last time you promised that this and this and this and this. Oh, nobody is going to come to give you an accountability of that.
Absolutely.
Because
you mentioned it, you
no
moved on.
substance. It was a form. To contest, you must have a manifesto. So give them a manifesto.
So the promises people are making currently, we are going to double or triple the PDA.
No, this one is you see, by the way, this is what I'm telling you. That the manifesto you people are mistaken. It's not about promises. Somebody can fulfill all the promises in their manifesto and the country remains in trouble. This is what I'm trying to explain to you. It's not about that somebody has a manifesto and what promises have they made and have they fulfilled them. Because you can do all those three and still have a country that is languishing. The question we should be asking ourselves, what are our value systems and what goal are they taking us to?
As a country.
As a nation. You have an education system in this country producing beggars. So if somebody comes and tells you, I want free education for all, you are going to clap. But the people are going to go through that free education and end up as beggars. So he has given you his manifesto, he has fulfilled it, but has the country changed for the better? This is why I tell you form versus substance.
Yes.
And these are the questions as a nation we must face. It's not we should get away from this cheap populist noise. Again, but ask yourself what we are doing, what is the value, and where are we going to end? I've given you a simple example of education.
Yes, but it can't.
In the manifesto,
yes,
the agenda in that manifesto is that free education for all. And chances are high that by 2031,
it is most probable.
It is most probable that everybody from P1 to S6 will be studying for free.
But the substance.
But the question I am asking, after people have studied for free and they've got these degrees, of what value will that free education be to them? Because today it is evident and clear to everybody. All graduates from our universities come out beggars.
Yes.
Not that one is another issue. They are unemployable. But for me, I'm talking about what they become. They beg. They start begging from the day they leave the university, and up to 10 years, 5 years later, you still find them begging. What changes is the value of what they are begging. You know, when he has just left, university, he will beg. He will say, "Give me some transi. I want to go and see a friend. Give me some, buy for me some data." As he grows older, and he starts getting, say, "Now, you know, rent, the landlord is on my case." Beggars.
And it's a sad situation.
And it is a very sad situation.
Yes.
That we have reached a point whereby the educated and uneducated are the same.
That begs the question. Is the challenge, because when you bring out now people who are raising such issues like you, is the problem the electorate, okay, or the problem are the people who set the system to run? Because, I mean, you have people who are providing, these ideas,
I'll answer you this way.
Visions, yes.
We have what they call a malfunction. You know, when you have a system set up, everything is there, the power is on, the connections are on, but then it malfunctions. We are having what they call a malfunction in most of our systems. Why? I don't want to blame the politicians so much, although they are the superintendents of the malfunction.
They're the ones
superintending the malfunction. But I think the technocrats have a big role to play. Because you see, when these manifestos are being made, I don't think there's a lot of politics in them.
They are actually clear-cut, direct. Yes,
these are things from technocrats. People who sit down, look at numbers, assess psychosocial, economic,
things like that. Yes,
security issues, and come up with a concept of how the next 5 years
should be,
what they should promise and chase.
So that is okay.
So for me, I get worried when a leader offers free education without looking at the type of education.
Or without looking at the background of where we are coming from.
Yes. There should be technocrats looking at these numbers. We are producing 40,000 graduates. We don't have the economy to consume them, to absorb them. We don't have the capacity to take care of these graduates.
Yes.
To make them value citizens who are adding value to the nation and to themselves.
Yes.
So somebody in their manifesto should be saying, I want an overhaul of the education system. I will listen to such a person. That one will catch my ear.
But this whole thing of curriculum change,
and what? Curriculum change to what end?
Yeah.
To what end?
It is more solution-oriented.
To what end?
To create.
I have seen the curriculum changes. You have children in school. You have some secondary school. You ask parents who have secondary school going children if they understand the report. By the time you, the parent, cannot understand the report,
how about?
There is already a break in the chain. Because educating a child is a stakeholders engagement. The teacher is involved, the school is involved, the student is involved, the parents are involved, the community is involved. Now, if a third of the people supposed to be involved in the child's education don't understand what you're teaching or the curriculum or how it's graded.
Wow, what a way to start. Yes.
So I continue to tell you that we should graduate as Ugandans from being people of form.
Without.
Because for us, we just want to cause we've done it, we've done this. It's not about doing.
So we have this number of schools, we have this number of hospitals, we have this number of...
We have done these schools, we have done these hospitals.
These kilometer roads over this.
What is the value? Can you correlate all those we have done to a certain tangible value to the economic growth, to the social growth, to human development? Because you see, for me, it is useless for me to have a law degree and 20 years down the road, I am comparable to a person who didn't go to school.
That's terrible. Yes.
But that is the case. You will find a broker Wamataka sitting on the same table with an advocate of 20 years. Not that being a broker Wamataka is bad, but those are the people who are helping the lawyers get the money. And I find that very, 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 very
interesting. Yeah.
What should we be doing, my brother? We should now remove and the good thing we are getting to a phase. I've realized Ugandans have now started understanding that it's not about the noise, it's not about defiance, it's not about but they've seen. You know, last time they voted the noise, the defiance, the what, and they have discovered that
there's a system.
The only thing that changes here is the person whom we voted. But the rest of us and the things that we were squeezing us remain the same. And so now Ugandans, I think, are more palatable to listening, to looking critically.
What does this one have?
Critically, because I'll give you an example. The president has a very good solution to education, but Ugandans still think it is a subsidiary. These presidential hubs, you see, this skilling business.
The skilling, yes, presidential skilling.
Those ones, that is where government should be putting all the money. Forget these university scholarships and all. Forget those. Leave those for the people who have money.
If it's pushing industrialization.
But people who don't have money, don't waste their time to get documents which are not going to change their lives. pick the people, put them in those skilling hubs, train them to use their brains and their hands instead of giving them a document as a certificate that you have graduated. If he has done mechanical engineering, give him a toolbox. If he has done plumbing, give him a these are the way you. I'm telling you, this country will this catapulting they are saying. It will not be a catapult. It will be a rocket booster. Because everybody will immediately, every graduate will immediately start making money. Not making money.
Yes, Council, I do think.
So for me, yes. I don't know what I'm going to discuss in these manifestos because really these manifestos, we have seen them for years. I can assure you today as we speak, no, in this country, if you go, 99% of this country cannot even tell you what is on page one of any of the manifestos of any candidate.
We are just moving around.
99, I'm 100% sure 99% of the population in Uganda as of today cannot tell you what is on page one of the manifestos of the candidates that are standing today. All of them wait for the news to hear what Spirit TV is saying about Nandala, saying about yes. Nobody takes time
to break this down,
including me. I don't know Nandala's manifesto. I don't know.
That's why we shall host them, so
I don't know Chagulanyi's manifesto. I don't know Mutu's manifesto. I only know what I have seen them saying on the TV. I have the NRM Manifesto. I don't have even the appetite or the motivation to open it because it is just a form, no substance. And I'm being very honest. Yes. I'm being very honest, and I don't say these things to demean or ridicule.
That is
the fact.
Charles, from hearing from council, 99% of people don't even know what is on the first page of the manifestos.
You can, if I'm lying, you can tell.
What are you seeing? Because this is such a then why are people moving around, promising here, left, right, and center? It's like saying if a wolf will promise the electorate, when you vote me, I will become a vegetarian, But he's a wolf. So really, what do you analyze? What do you see? And I know you are part of the people who is building a constitution, the CA, and things like that. But
okay, in 1996, I think, Dr. Kawanga Semogere, immediately after we are done with the CA, Dr. Kawanga Semogere left the National Resistance Army because they had been co-opted. They had joined 7 and got nominated. So there were 2 surprises. The first surprise was that he had a huge crowd in Kampala that followed him to Kororo. That was huge. You remember, political parties had been in abeyance. They had been restricted. Political parties had not participated in elections of 1994. Actually, even the NRC elections, in the C elections and the NRC elections, and no gatherings had been allowed.
Yes.
So, to the NRA, the crowds of Semogere were really a shock. Then the second thing, and I think that's when the idea of crowd started gaining currency. Then the second shock was he launched a manifesto and talked about UP, I think. Then immediately the NRA also reacted with launching a manifesto. So since then...
So that manifesto conversation started with...
Yes.
At that time.
Yeah. If my memory serves me right, it was Semogere first.
Semogere, yes.
With the... but what was central in his... there was also Mayanja Chibirije. But I don't remember the issue Mayanja Chibirije raised. But I think all of them rotated around educating kids and I think Mr. Museveni came in where they were offering over 2. Then he did 4 and later on all. So you have that concept of Nabasome. Now, but the larger issue is that's when the craze for manifestos came in. Now,
and in that sense, I know you're going to add. I know you're going to add, but how far or how much do manifestos guide a party?
I'm coming because I have followed manifestos because since 1996, between 1996 and a couple of by the time of Chiza Besigye, you had no political parties, so you wouldn't have a manifesto of a political party. Yes. So initially within we had the manifestos, but of individuals. However, with Mr. Museveni it was NRM. So the question now is, what was NRM then? It had the secretariat, it had the state. So Mr. Museveni referred to NRM as a movement. It was not a party, it was a system. Right. Where now all of you are required to operate as individuals, but for him he was operating as a head of a system. You know, we are done with that fraud, but so you come to so there are some ideas that came up, the protest of ACJ and reform agenda, then later on reform now, and then you have that line of Mr. Museveni, peace, security, consolidating the gains. Now he's protecting the gains. Then there is I have them somewhere. Securing the future, the
prosperity for all. I can break 2011 manifesto, prosperity for all. Kagawale. And then 2016 the manifesto, taking Uganda to modernity through job creation and inclusive development. You had 2021 securing your future, and 2026 consolidation and transformation.
Then you will find somewhere of leaping, leap forward.
Yes, that is
whatever leaping.
This manifesto.
Whatever leaping
into a tangible middle class.
So achieving a leap to high middle income status.
There has to be some leap somewhere. Not leap of LIP, the leap of jumping up and down. Now so you I don't know what you wanted us, because he's inviting you to analyze substance rather than analyzing the form. So I began with you. Right. On the idea, because initially the NRCs did not have manifestos. When they were joining NRC, expanding the NRC, in the CA, there was still some hangover of the UPC DP campaigns of 1994 before the Tito Kero Rutwa. So most actors who participated had been in that election, save for some of us who were new on the stage. But political party activities had been banned, and you were not allowed to use a political party symbol during the CA elections. Yes. So the idea of manifestos was not there, and we had candidates meetings. Now, the mode of campaigning was not rallies.
Not that rallies, yes.
No. They would have candidates meetings where all of you would address candidates meetings. The candidates meetings were organized by the Interim Electoral Commission of Stephen Akabwai. So now the current wave of manifestos contains whose ideas? I think that's the larger issue. The larger issue is that these manifestos are a deception. Because they do not reflect the reality. The reality is that the road between Mbarara and Ushenyi must be done.
That's the reality.
That's the reality. The road is bad and it must be done.
Talk about the one of Fort Poto.
Yes. I know that I've heard a lot about that road. And even in a monk went there when she was doing campaigns, and she confessed about that road. So the road is bad, and I know that road destroyed UPC. What was left of UPC after the coup was wiped out by that road, because I used that road, and people really hated Obote for it. The same is true with between Mbarara and Liantonde. It was so bad. It would take you more than 8 hours to navigate between Mbarara and Liantonde. So the last thing Museveni would want to have is that city road between Mbarara and Ushenyi. You wouldn't want to have it, more especially when you have got the Thomas Tayebwas. That's the road they would love to fix. So if you are talking about a promise or doing, they would do it. They wouldn't even need to wait to do it. They wouldn't even wait to promise. It's the same as the bridge between Kanungu and Rukunjiri. We had that bridge broken for a long time between Rukunjiri and Kanungu, and the late Garuga Musingi told me there is a woman who was going to give birth in Kambuga Hospital, and she was referred to, I think, Yashivare Hospital, but because there was no bridge, they used the other alternative route, which is now a new road. Because they have now made there is a new road connecting Rukunjiri and Congo. So that's the area they used, and the woman died on the escarpments of the Rift Valley, place called Katabushera. That was from the late Musingu Garuga. He told me that. So how bad, what the cost of not having that road. And the conversation was always, but we have Mama Mbabas, who is the Prime Minister.
All right.
Mama Mbabas was the Prime Minister, and we had no road. Kanunga had been cut off. So NRA could not afford to promise. If it had capacity, it would have fixed the road. So where you have a mismatch between the lie and the reality on the ground is that the politician of today is able to master all the problems and concerns on the ground, and he will promise them when he has no money. In other words, if he had the resources, he wouldn't need to have promised.
He would just fix.
He would have fixed. In other words, we wouldn't now be having any pothole, wouldn't be having any issue. Museveni would have fixed all of them because nothing stops him. But the reason that he doesn't have money. So if you are really talking about truth in conceptualization, in building concepts and reality, then you should have a conversation with the lower political organisms. So I'm therefore saying that in developing the manifesto, a mass organization like the National Resistance Army, Occupational NACBA, should begin with the lower organs.
The lower organs,
the sub-county, the municipal councils. I'm talking about the political, not those ones who are already in the council. Yes, because at the sub-county level, we have got a committee of the NRA. It's true with the district, it's also true with these municipal and state councils and the city.
Yes.
Not those who are already elected. I'm talking about, not those who are in the committees of the local government. I'm talking about the party structure.
Okay.
So do you have the involvement of the party structures of the various areas in the formulation of this manifesto? You get? So if you are talking about a road between Kampala and Arua, then certainly you would have an input of all the local councils of LC 3 and 5 through which that road passes.
Yes.
You would have a consensus. You can even have the organs of the NRA of more than 10 districts meeting on a project that benefits the 10 districts. Let me give the example of this coffee factory, whatever it is in Ntungamo. If it is going to serve maybe 10 districts of that region, you would have had popular participation of the various district NRM organs of that region meeting somewhere to discuss it, caucus about it. But you don't have any caucus of the lower organs of NRA on any issue or subject that concerns them in relation to the manifesto. I can bet you they have never met to discuss education, they have never met to discuss health, and they have never met to discuss environment, etc.
Infrastructure. Yeah.
Now, it is the satisfied who remind the hungry about the hungry's hunger and then promise to supply them food.
The satisfied remind the hungry about the hungry's hunger and then promise.
Yes. Now, the hungry,
what are they on?
the hungry will just merely clap. Because you see, you cannot discuss with the hungry on the cost of their food. No. You say, give me mandate about your hunger. No. That they tell you our problem is hunger. We are ready to give you mandate to go and solve the problem of hunger. And then you say, okay, your problem is hunger, but if you are giving me mandate, then I will require you to dig.
Their responsibility.
Yes, I will require you to dig, I will require you to prepare a garden, I will require you to clean, to weed, I will require you to harvest, I will require you to collect firewood, I will require you to collect water, I will require you to cook. These are the responsibilities that you must have. Mine is to lead you in this.
Okay.
Which we do in our homes. I don't know that I grew up in the village. I grew up in the village. The most labor-intensive operation is growing millet. I don't know if you have that experience of growing millet.
Yes, I have.
Yes, it's extremely from Kubanjura. Kubanjura is if the ground is very new to I don't know what they call it.
Kukabara.
Yes, to open up ground,
breaking,
yes,
following.
following, yes, and until forget even about harvest. You harvest, you dry, you grind, then from grinding, and then you now to make a kalo. By the time you eat kalo, it has consumed very many hours of labor.
Yes.
So if you said, if you say we shall eat kalo, the duty of me as a leader is to explain to you the process it will take
so that you
to make kalo. Then the manifesto will now capture
those things.
We shall procure land, we shall procure seeds for millet, we shall procure a hoe, we shall procure this, and then the pot where to prepare the kalo from, then train those who will make kalo. Yes, the grinding and then making the kalo, because it's knowledge, it's knowledge intensive. But even making a pot, I was involved in making a pot. One in making the stone that we used to grind. I know how to mobilize for it. I know how to mobilize the clay to make the pot. I know how to make the pot. It's all that process is by the way, it's serious technology. Absolutely. I know how to wave baskets, CTC, the entire we use, the orgari. Now, so then you have to list all those if you are a leader and provide for them.
Okay.
Ensure that knowledge is picked.
Yes.
Yes. I used to do it with my mother, but she must have been taught by someone. She went through training. I can confess I have not trained my own children the way I was I must confess.
Yes.
So if now we say we want to have kalo, we are going to have primary health education, primary health, we are going to have this, we are going to have a modern hospital. it requires a lot, manpower planning, what do you require in manpower planning? If you have to produce a doctor, what does it take? You even budget it.
Right. Charles, can I pause
from
there?
the point of view. So now you cannot give all these to the ghetto people.
And they understand.
No, they can understand. By the way, they are good. A person who maneuvers a border in town.
We are picking it up from there, explaining this to a ghetto person, and then we move on. It's the Truth, Lies, and Politics, and I have Council Tugume Ronald Apoli and Mr. Charles Romushana, and we're just trying to unveil this whole conversation and the notion and these manifestos that are flying around. If you have a question, please feel free to send it onto our socials, that is at Spirit TV UG on X, formerly Twitter, on Facebook, and on YouTube. We'll be glad to ask the question. Stay tuned.
Truth, the lies, and politics. Informative, educative, and analytical. Getting to the real issues that affect an ordinary individual in areas of leadership, governance, social, and economy. The truth, the lies,